Dating in your 30s. Now, if you're anything like me, I'm turning 30 pretty soon here. And I just want to show you guys the things that I'm doing to prepare myself for dating in my 30s. Now, realistically, guys, nothing is really going to change based on the habits and the practices that I've been doing for the last 10 years. But I understand you might not be like me. Maybe you spent your 20s in a long term relationship or even married, and now you're in your 30s, potentially divorced or getting back out there, and you might not know where to start. Or if you're already doing a lot of these things, this can be a great place to double check and see and make sure that you're staying on point so that way you can enjoy the fruits of your labor and have a great dating life. So, number one, what I think should be on the top of every guy's list in their 30s should be to hone their mindset. Now, what exactly do I mean by this? Well, if you're in your 30s, most people are going to expect you to be pretty mature, pretty grounded, and pretty much like you got a handle on life. Like you're in control of things. You know what I'm saying? And so if you're not quite there yet, or maybe you're just starting your personal development journey in your 30s, I think starting to meditate, starting to really introspect into yourself and notice your thoughts and start to be able to control them to the point where you can control your emotions and be very grounded as a dominant, confident leader is going to be a very high value trait to have. Number two is going to be your physical appearance. Now, I know a lot of guys are going to say, oh, this is superficial. But guys, focusing on your physical appearance in your 30s, I think is more important than ever. I think in our 20s, we can kind of get away with doing the bare minimum or nothing at all and looking fine. But now that we're in our 30s, guys, we got to step our game up. And I'm talking, you got to have your style on point, your physique on point, your grooming, your hairstyle, you know what I'm saying, your scent. And what's even really important is also your skincare routine, guys. Like even just a little bit of moisturizer and a little bit of SPF to protect you from the harmful sun rays can go a long way. And I know, again, some people are going to ignore this shit, but I think it's pretty important. Number three is having your priorities in the right order. Now, if you are anything like me, in my opinion, number one above everything else should be God or whatever religion and faith you believe in. But if you're not religious, you can also put yourself first. Now, why do I think this should go here? Well, in my opinion, you're going to be with yourself for your entire life. So you might as well prioritize yourself, your mental health, your physical well-being, and everything that comes with that, right? Number two on the priority list, I believe that you should be putting your purpose and your passion second. Now, why does this go here? Well, in my opinion, focusing on the things that you're very passionate in life, whether it's skateboarding or music or your craft, whatever it is, man, I think that should be very high in the priority list because at the end of the day, when you want to just come home after a long day, decompress, and do the things you truly enjoy, you should go do those things and focus on them. As long as they're not destructive and they're going to ruin any progress you've made so far. Same with your purpose. If your purpose is helping others or it's working on something really important, focus on that shit, man. I think that's really important. I think that's really beneficial for us men. And I think you should always continue to pursue those things no matter what. Number three on the list, this is where, in my opinion, your family and your friends should go. Now, why do I think this? Well, in my opinion, friends and family should be up on the priority list, but still, they're not going to be higher than yourself. Just because, as I mentioned before, your friends and your family, sometimes they might fade off in life, friendships might dissolve, family ties, might have some crazy fights. Who knows what can happen, right? But at the end of the day, you still want to keep them in your circle, especially if they are supportive and they benefit you in the long run. But if for whatever reason they don't understand this and they give you any pushback, then maybe they don't deserve to be in your life. And that's something you might want to consider. And now, number four, I believe this is where women should be. And in my opinion, as much as they might say it, truthfully, I don't think women necessarily want to be prioritized like that. They might say it, right? And of course, if you end up meeting an amazing girl and you guys end up getting married, then she can move up to the friends and family slot because she is now part of your family. But until that phase, man, I don't think women should be that high on the priority list. And again, because they like a man who is hardworking, who is going out, who is getting done and holding it down. They don't really necessarily want to be the top of your priority list and you texting and calling them all day long. Again, in the short term, that might be great and that might make them feel amazing. But I believe in the long term, that's only going to come back and bite you in the ass, man. So put them where they belong for. Now, I have this great quote over here by Hormozy, which is a little controversial. However, I do think there's some truth to it. However, in my opinion, the thing is, you can have a balance of both work and life balance in your 20s and even in your 30s. Now, I understand a lot of people do go through their 20s and they spend their time just partying, figuring shit out, kind of aimless, and then in their 30s, they start to get more serious. Now, if you're watching this video, you're probably already in your 30s and maybe you're an underskilled 30-year-old, or maybe you've done the hard work in your 20s and now you're ready to kill it in your 30s and you're absolutely crushing it, right? But in my opinion, look, there's no perfect way to live your life, but I think it's all about a balance, if that makes sense. I think you should balance the things that are important in your life and definitely prioritize them, whether it's the gym, your purpose, your passions, yourself. All these things are super important. But at the end of the day, we do need to reward ourselves from the fruits of our labor and the hard work that we put in. And if you're not rewarding yourself and you're just work, 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 hey man, that's gonna make you pretty miserable and you're probably gonna go through a lot of burnout. So, in my opinion, look, go enjoy your life. Just do it in small bursts, when you truly feel like you deserve it. Or if you have specific goals, do it when you hit those goals, man. I think one of the secrets to life and being a man, especially now that we're getting a little bit older, is delaying gratification. Because at the end of the day, when we delay that, two things start to happen, in my opinion. Number one, we start to enjoy the process more because we know it's tied to that future goal. And then what happens is sometimes we even hit that freaking goal. And at the end of the day, we are just like, okay, cool, we hit the goal. Nice, I'll go celebrate. But I want to go back to work. And sometimes it gets pretty addicting. So I think at the end of the day, man, delaying gratitude is a very powerful tool, but you should reward yourself along the way so that way you can enjoy life. Because in my opinion, that's what life is all about. You know what I'm saying? It truly is enjoying the things that it does have to offer, but also learning, the ebbs and flows of life. I think it's a balancing act. And I think it's important to keep that in mind. So those are just my thoughts about dating in my 30s. Now, I know some people will say like, oh, is there a certain age limit that I should limit myself to? And to be honest with you, I did think about limiting the age limit of women that I should be talking to and dating. But at the end of the day, I've met 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds who are very mature for their age. They're very wise and they're amazing girls to hang out with and date. So I don't necessarily think that should change. Some people might have an opinion on that. And if you do, look, you can drop a comment down below and we can have a discussion on this. You know what I'm saying? But long story short, guys, these are the things that I'm going to be focusing on to continue doing while I'm in my 30s. I'm going to keep prioritizing my health, my mindset, my business, and obviously helping you guys and making more videos just like these. So that way you guys can obviously crush it. Maybe join me on the journey. And if you guys need help, I have a community that you guys can join right now where you guys can get tons of sauce, meet like-minded individuals, and literally level up alongside with other great, amazing dudes who are trying to win just like you in life and become G. So if that's you, check out the links in my bio, hit me in the DMs, whatever you want to do. But if you guys like this video, remember to like, subscribe, drop a comment, do all that cool, fun YouTube shit. And hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.